Hello everyone, my name is DeadlySlob with TGN. Today we have another Warlock leveling video and we're going to hit level 65. We're moving on very quickly, and if you haven't already seen this last video, you can click on the annotation on this screen and you'll be redirected. In this episode we're going to be finishing up the Hellfire Peninsula, we're going to be moving into Zangarmarsh and Nagrand, as well as doing Hellfire Ramparts and Blood Furnace. The World of Warcraft Game Time card contest is over, and I'd like to say congratulations to Stephen P for winning. We'll be doing a lot more contests on my Facebook page in the future, so make sure you check that out as well. All this footage you see here was on live stream at justin.tv/DeadlySlob every single morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is also a 100% user interactive project. Now if you want to participate, you have to view the stream, and I'll present the viewer base some polls. For example, spec choices, dungeons, battlegrounds, zones, you name it, we're going to be voting on it. Alright guys, so let's get right into it. Right now we're in the Hellfire Ramparts, we're Demonology, doing some awesome AoE damage. Now Demonology has a really solid rotation when it comes to AoE. Basically what I do is Hand of Gul'dan, I'll send my pet in, he'll Fellstorm, and then I'll also Rain of Fire. That's very, very effective with multiple targets because the Fellstorm does crazy amounts of damage. The Hand of Gul'dan increases damage as well as stuns, and your Rain of Fire just adds a little bit of punch to that whole AoE rotation. Now we're also in the Hellfire Peninsula, and we're going to be jumping in and out of instances because we're going to be doing questing while we're queuing up for dungeons. It is the most effective way at this moment to actually level up. Unless you're a tank with full BOAs that is getting instant queues or whatever. But right now I'm actually enjoying Demonology, but in this video we'll be switching to Destruction as well. We're going to be showing you my rotation, how I handle it, and the pros and cons of using Destruction. Now like last video I stated that I actually don't have Incinerate just yet, and that's the proc that I was talking about. They give you that relatively early when you're Demonology, and I believe they should scale down Incinerate to match that proc. So around the same level that you can actually obtain that talent, they should give you Incinerate. I think it just makes a lot of sense, and it's quite useless as a Demonology Warlock whenever you get that and you can't use the damn proc, and it procs often. So we're back into the Hellfire Ramparts. Like I said, we're jumping in and out very quickly. I got my Inferno down to do some extra damage. Now right here you're going to see a very effective way of doing AoE damage as a Demonology Warlock. Just did the Hand of Gul'dan, sent my Felguard in, and then I Fellstormed, and now I'm going to Rain of Fire for massive amounts of AoE damage. This was actually a lot of fun, and I recommend doing this or trying it out in basically any dungeon in the game because it's a lot of fun, especially one that requires a lot of AoE damage. So there we go, we just dinged level 61 in the Hellfire Ramparts. Of course we're going to be moving in and out, just like I stated before. Again, showing the Hand of Gul'dan, Fellstorm, and Rain of Fire effectiveness. You're going to be seeing this for the majority of the video as well, up until I switch to Destruction. Now there's two ways of handling your Demonology single target rotation, but a good thing to remember is actually keeping Hand of Gul'dan up as often as you can. Whenever that's off cooldown, you need to be casting that. Now whenever you're going to initiate a fight, you can argue which is better. You can hand first or then put up your dots, or then put up your dots and then hand. The reason why you may want to put hand first is because it gives you the damage increase on your initial immolation hit, but if you spec into it correctly, whenever you do Hand of Gul'dan, it resets your immolation. So technically speaking, if you're keeping Hand of Gul'dan off cooldown, there is no way your immolation should run up on a target, and that's hypothetically speaking. Now, in some points of this video, you won't be seeing me using Hand of Gul'dan often. However, I should be. It's just whenever I'm streaming, brain draining, and mindlessly grinding through mobs, sometimes you forget some things. So bear with me, guys, because I did get some flack last video for actually using Rain of Fire on a single target. But you know what? Whatever. This isn't endgame rating. This isn't heroics. We're just going to do this the way I want to do it up until things get serious. Now, it doesn't mean you should be practicing the correct rotation. That just means whenever I'm talking to live stream, whenever I'm doing stupid stuff, or just mindlessly grinding mobs and doing quests for hours, you sometimes tend to forget. But needless to say, we're just going to be moving on right through here, doing the standard rotation, which is what I always say: Hand of Gul'dan, Fell Storm, Rain of Fire, because in this particular instance we're going to be having more than 2 mobs on us at a given point. So there we go, we just hit level 62, we got Fell Armor. Now you won't be seeing me using that too often, partially because I don't actually get that spell until over level 65, because I don't even go to Shattrath City to get my spells for a fairly long time. But here we go, we got something new. We got the Slave Pens. Now the Slave Pens, this is currently during the Midsummer's event. Now if you are on a level 85 character, you can come here and do a Hoon and have a chance to win a Scythe. But that is over, so I don't know why I'm talking to you guys about that, because you can't get it anymore. The Scythe is really weird. It's got like 300 plus 300 stamina to it, and it's got some serious spell power. It'll be alright, I guess, for a PvP mage. I really don't know what the use is for that. It looks pretty badass, but you can probably find a better thing to use. And I think Blizzard actually put that in the game for that reason, that they didn't really want to give an overly powerful weapon off of a dungeon like that. So anyways, we're almost done of this Slave Pens. We're killing the last boss here. I'm pretty sure he doesn't drop anything nice for me, but if he does, you're going to be replacing it in a couple levels anyway. And the number one thing I get asked all the time is, Deadly, how do you get so much gold when you're leveling? Because I can't get anything. I can't buy any of my mounts. I can't get anything cool. Can't even afford my damn spells. Now you got to remember, don't spend gold on the auction house when you're leveling your characters. You can make over 10,000 gold with ease by the time you hit level 85, just from questing alone. And that was from questing alone. That's not including my dungeon runs. So God knows how much I'm going to be making on this character. But just sell your cloths, sell your greens that you pick up, make sure that you sell everything that's white. So if you have a white item, put it on the auction house, because that means it has some sort of use and some character out there in the world is going to need it. And if it's gray, sell it. So welcome to Zangarmarsh, one of my most hated zones in the game, partially because it's pretty big, the quests are really long and drawn out, besides the initial ones. When you first get to Zangarmarsh, you're going to be overloaded with the quests, so you're going to have way too many to do. And near the end, you're going to be picking off some of the longer quest chains, and the EXP will slow down dramatically. But we won't see that, because we're going to be moving on, because we're doing dungeons as well as questing, so we won't even do half of the quests in Zangarmarsh until we move on to Grand. We did vote on what places you guys wanted to see in the Outlands, and the winners were Netherstorm and Grand, so I made sure that I did quests in both those zones for at least a level. Alright, welcome to the secret question of the video. If you made it this far, congratulations, you're legendary. That's right, you can leave that in the comment section below if you really want to, or you can answer this question: what is your favorite zone in the game? It could be for questing reasons, graphical reasons, or for any at all. Let me know in the comment section below. As you're typing that message, don't forget to hit that like button. It's only like a few centimeters or whatever inches above where you're typing, so it doesn't take much effort to move the mouse over there and click that button. And if you're feeling really prestigious, always, favorite it. That helps as well. The reason why I ask so much is actually it promotes this video a little bit more and makes it more popular, in turn getting more views and growing the fan base, which is always awesome. Also, stick around after the post roll in this video. There's actually something pretty funny in there. Pretty big blooper that I actually wanted to include. Alright, so now we're just going to be killing some Hydras. We're still doing the initial grinding quests of Zangarmarsh, the ones that you get at the beginning of the zone. And that will take you through basically huge chunks of EXP. Right there, I just flew into the cavern there and actually dinged level 63 with exploring experience, which is very cool. I enjoy doing that a lot. We actually got a couple of those on Percunis and Zuvo as well, so it's something that's fun to actually include. Now this is the first spot where you're actually exposed to Sporeguard. Sporeguard is a faction that you can earn reputation up to actually unlock more quests, and you can actually do a achievement called the Diplomat, which requires you to actually get exalted reputation with Sporeguard, Timbermaw Hold, and also your Nagrand faction. So that's a pretty cool achievement as well. You can get that if you're feeling that you want to get a cool title. That's always one that you can pick up. So we're almost done of Demonology. We're going to be switching through to Destruction very, very shortly. However, whenever there's a quest that requires me to kill an elite, I always switch to Demonology, just because it's got a higher level of survivability, but destruction has higher amounts of damage output. That's the only difference, and you'll be seeing me switching between the two in the Grand quite frequently. So we're actually almost done of Zangarmarsh. I know, we're only been here for technically a few minutes in the actual video, but in reality, we're only there for a morning, so it didn't take very long to get out of that zone, that's for sure. So there we go, we're trying out Destruction. That was the first ever kill. I just finally switched. I'm like, I wonder how this works. As you can see, I don't have Incinerate just yet. That's because I actually never went to Shattrath City. We actually do go here eventually, and then we'll start doing some serious damage. But at this particular point, I was just amazed of how fast I was killing these mobs. Now, if you look closely, I am using the Imp. Why am I using the Imp? Because of the instant Soulfire procs that talent brings. Now, you're looking at the WoW popular talent trees. Many of them don't include that instant Soulfire. I don't really know why. It's pretty useful as well. You can see right here, I just popped Emulate, and I'm going to be using that instant Soulfire, or not. I guess I didn't decide to click that button just because I didn't know what it was at that particular time. But now that I do, we are actually in the Blood Furnace right now. This is something that is a little bit higher than the Hellfire Ramparts, sorry. And we're actually almost done with it. It's a pretty easy instance, especially for this group. We are doing lots of damage, so we're burning through every single boss in this place. Just watch how fast we kill this final boss. Really, my destruction rotation is simple: Immolate, Conflagulate, Soulfire. Now, if I backdraft, I should be using Incinerate, however that I don't have it. So we're just going to be hard casting Soulfire, just because it'll be doing more damage. Please note we don't have Chaos Bolt either at this particular time. And now, if I mentioned before that I just didn't go pick up Incinerate, that was false. I actually didn't unlock it yet. But with this ding, we did. So whenever I go fly to Nagrand, we will pick up Incinerate. And this is one of the last quest turn-ins in Zangarmarsh that I actually do. We're going to be moving on to Nagrand. I actually dropped everything, and I said, you know what, I'm tired of this spot. I know I can effectively quest in Nagrand, you know, at level 64, so I actually did that. However, I had to do a little bit of backtracking. As you can see, we're at the Nesting Wary camp in Nagrand. These quests yield a hell of a lot of experience, and we'll be doing them for the majority of the zone as well. But I was hostile with Garadar. Why? I didn't do the initial quest in Hellfire, so that required me to go all the way back to Hellfire, find this guy, put the Fell Spirit on him, and that was that. Had to do the whole quest chain. That was really annoying, but it was actually, you know, worth the experience, I suppose. It still yielded quite a bit. But anyway, we're back in Nagrand. This is one of the first quests you have to do with Garadar. This is on the very edge of Terrakar as well. So we're back in Nagrand, finally. We accepted all the quests in Garadar. Everything's all good. We're back on track. At this point, we actually didn't pick up Incinerate just yet. I'm trying to think, what the hell am I trying to do here? But as you can tell, it's not really affecting how much damage I'm putting on these ogres. Now, what I should have done was not use the Imp and use the Voidwalker in some cases, just because I'm taking a lot of damage. And you can tell that I'm not actually using Soul Link either. I know, facepalm, and I won't be using it for the majority of this video either. But that's just because I didn't really know what the ability did correctly just yet. And whenever you're Destruction, it's worth giving up that instant Soulfire for survivability. So for that Voidwalker, it's pretty useful, and we actually won't be using him for a while. The one thing I really like about Nagrand is it's graphically stunning. The quests are really easy, and it's just kill quests. It's basically, you have to do the odd escort, but majority it's killing and, you know, collecting quests. And they're 9 times out of 10 intertwined with 5 other quests. So making it very, very quick, and it's awesome. And I could have finished, I could have hit level 68 in Nagrand if I really wanted to. However, since people voted on Netherstorm, I decided as soon as I hit level 67, I moved on. So we'll be hitting level 65 in this video in Nagrand. So thank you guys for watching. My name is DeadlySlob. If you haven't already, click that like button. You guys are legendary. If you made it this far, holy shit, you guys are pretty cool. As well as make sure you tune in after the post roll for something really cool. The next video will be 65 to 70 and should be coming out in the next 3 days or so. So make sure you stay tuned to TGN World of Warcraft and my personal channel, youtube.com/DeadlySlob, for more information. As well as tuning into my morning stream at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time every single morning. I'll be there doing WoW stuff, Hunter PvP, and Warlock leveling stuff. Again, my name is DeadlySlob, and I'll see you guys next video. Reasons, questing reasons. Is there a special place in that particular zone for you? What the fuck was that?